Hello and good morning. Welcome to Moving Iron Podcast Market Rundown with Angie Setzer. Angie, we're at what day 375 of the government shutdown here, so not a whole lot to talk about as far as reports go.
Day 8,502 of the hostage situation. So, we have no information. We get the export shipments. We're getting some of the energy numbers so we can see energy, ethanol production. And that's about it. We are getting CFTC reports, so we don't know what the fund position looks like. Everyone's still thinking that corn speculators are still really long, which doesn't really help us see a lot of buying if you're thinking that people have already bought. And so, yeah, the lack of numbers is really discouraging, especially because they tie together. So like we keep hearing about what's going on with China purchases and things like that, but we don't get any confirmation of sales. So China could be in and buying, but we're not seeing it. We are seeing some shipments take place, but nothing that would be beyond what would be normal for what we knew they had bought prior. Cash market isn't really indicating a lot of exceptional business is being done either. So we're just kind of sitting here waiting for the government to solve their issue. And at this point, it looks to be a long way off. We had like 3 or 4, I can't keep track, different bills proposed that would eliminate the shutdown or get us back up and running. None of them passed. The Trump administration has been rumored that they will basically do an emergency funding or an emergency appropriation to get the wall built. No one's sure if that's really going to take place or not. I think CNN reported that, no one confirmed. And so, if that does happen, what does that look like then? Do we see the government resume? If he removes that whole you need to fund the wall carrot, do we see that resume, or do we see a lot of really butthurt adults, do everything they can to torture the administration further? And at this point, it appears as though, we're being led by a whole bunch of butthurt adults, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
And we're not getting anywhere. So here we are trying to figure out what's going on. It feels like Groundhog Day, and it feels like all we're living in is a rumor mill at this point.
Right. Okay, so on the rumor mill side, China's been rumored to have bought some wheat, some corn, and some stuff that's pretty out of the norm for them to buy from us.
Yeah.
Which would probably be good for the markets if we could confirm the rumor or not. But on that point, we're also, according to Trade Secretary, we are miles apart with China, but still have a chance to work it out. So we're
I feel like we're sitting in like a marriage counselor meeting, right? Like, so he doesn't understand what I'm asking for, and she doesn't get me, and blah blah blah. And that's that's really where we're at. Yeah, we're getting tons of rumors every day. Lots of corn being bought, lots of wheat that's going to be bought. Things of that nature. We get no confirmation, so we just have to go off it. But it's really easy to tell Reuters or Bloomberg or whatever that, oh yeah, we're trading wheat, and just kind of with that lack of confirmation, the market can really move in a lot of different directions. So we did see some discussion this morning that kind of picked up some interest or caught some folks off guard, perhaps, that Sinograin, China's government, stockpiler there, is talking about a reduction in overall stocks significantly when it comes to corn and wheat. And so, that's the $1 million question. It would be the opposite of what we had heard from the USDA in China in November with that significant increase. So it's frustrating right now because we really don't know what to believe, who to believe, how to believe it. And, the reality is that would be an issue no matter what. So if the government were open, if we had no trade relation issues, we would still be hearing news from China and wondering, okay, what's true and what's not. But it's just exacerbated right now with the lack of an underlying solid source of information, on both sides, the trade and the USDA. So your guess is as good as mine as to what that means. But we will have meetings next week. Probably you'll see some volatility return, at least into the soybean market, maybe perhaps corn and wheat as well. 30th and 31st is when the high-ranking Chinese officials are coming over. So we'll see how that goes and see if we can, get less apart than miles and miles. But right now, that's what the U.S. Commerce Secretary is saying, is that we are definitely miles and miles apart. China really does not want to look at that intellectual property theft. They don't want to make adjustments there, which why would they? I mean, it's pretty beneficial for them.
It's been pretty good to them so far, so why would they want to change that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So now we're see, what's today? The 25th, right? So we've got 6 days plus. So we got about 14 days to the February report's supposed to come out, and more than likely that probably won't hit either, even if the government opened today. So
yeah, even if the government opened, I don't think we would see the Feb 8th number. Obviously, at this point, the January WASD is long gone. So, I mean, we need to get the quarterly stocks. We need to kind of get an idea as to what we were sitting on. But those numbers are going to be exceptionally old now because we're talking December 1st stocks. So here we are. They're already old in the January report anyway because it's DC1 stocks and it's released, 6 weeks later. But now we're looking at, another 2, 3, 4 weeks after, what would have been. So we're working on couple months plus here of usage and demand and things like that. So it'll give us a benchmark, but really all it is a guess. I mean, I don't want us to wait. Like I want to see that information because it's important and it'll give us something to trade off from. But, at this point, even when it does come out, most traders are probably going to look at it and be like, okay, well, what has changed in the last two months, 3 months, at the rate we're going. So March 1 will be the next time they take a look at stocks. And, we're closer to March 1st than we are December 1st. And so what does that mean for us going forward? So most folks, though, are saying that we won't see the February numbers and, maybe we'll get some updates on what January would have looked like, but I guess we'll see.
Right on. Okay. Well, Angie, good stuff as usual. If folks want to reach out to you and pick your brain or get some more information on what you got going on, how would they do that?
You can find me on Twitter at Goddess of Grain, or you can email me at asetzer@citizenselevator.com.
All right, Angie. Well, you have yourself a good weekend, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Sounds good. Have a good one.
All right, we'll talk to you.
Yep, thanks.